Y'all, it is officially 2024, and if you're still feeding out of one of these, it's time to ditch the bowl. Two of the biggest things that dog parents struggle with are undesirable behaviors in the home, as well as a dog that isn't able to just settle and relax and is just too energetic and busy. And if dogs were able to complain, most of them would say that they were bred to do a job all day, and now they're sitting in the house and are just a little bit bored. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve both of those problems in just a few minutes a day, and it has to do with how you feed your dog. Hi, I'm Laura from Doggy U, and I'm a certified guide dog mobility instructor, service dog trainer, and trick trainer. And today, we're going to be talking about the strategy that I use to get better behavior, as well as a more calm, tired, and fulfilled dog. Do you currently feed your dog out of a bowl? Dogs who eat out of a bowl tend to wolf their food down in like 30 seconds, barely remembering that they've even eaten it. So it's time to chuck the bowl and use your dog's mealtime more efficiently. You're going to use it to get better behavior from your dog, as well as make your dog more tired, aka meet their needs so they can be mentally and physically satisfied. So how do we do that? We're going to use their meals for both training and enrichment. So let's start with my strategy for using meals for a quick, efficient training session. Dogs will naturally be more hungry around their meal times, just like we are. So that's a really efficient time of day to use their meals for training. Doing so sets a pattern of working your dog twice daily, even if it's only for a few minutes. If you're going to feed your dog, which you definitely should be doing, we might as well use that food to get better behavior and a better bond with your dog. Now, some of you will say, hey Laura, I feed raw or I feed supplements and they need to be able to go in a bowl. No problem, I have a solution for that too. My dogs also get supplements that have to go in a bowl once a day. And for those meals, I take the portion of the meal that needs to be wetted or go into the bowl, and I go ahead and hide that bowl in the house, and then they can go find the bowl. Then I reserve the kibble that they also get fed with their meal, and I use that part of the meal for training. Training can be as simple as a pattern feeding game. I'll put one of my favorite games linked below so that you can get your dog to respond to their name by whipping around to look at you, while also making them tired. Or you can work on a new trick every day. I've got a whole trick training playlist that I'll link down below for you in the description. By the end of the year, your dog will have an incredible repertoire of behaviors. You can also play games like having them search for a scented item that you've hidden somewhere around your house. Then you jackpot them when they come back with it. I love this game on cold weather or dark days, especially for my older dog. We hide a toy or shed antler and send him searching around the house for it. And then he proudly brings it back and we give him a giant cookie scatter on the floor. What I love about ditching the bowl is that it reminds you to train twice a day. And when you train twice a day for just a few minutes, you'll come away with a significantly better behaved dog and develop a pattern of consistency, which is what gives you excellent long-term behavior. When we're talking about training and maintaining behavior, 5 to 10 minutes a day of consistent work is significantly better than one 60-minute training session on the weekend. But sometimes we can't feed through all the kibble that our dog requires, or we just don't have time for a training session at that particular meal. And that's where enrichment comes in. But before we talk about enrichment strategies that are going to allow your dog to feel more fulfilled and be able to relax better in your house, if you're getting value from this video, I would love it if you could head on down and boop that like button. Doing so lets me know that you're getting value from this video and that you want me to make more. Jake Coolip and I would be so grateful. Enrichment. Most dogs tend to enjoy natural behaviors like problem solving, sniffing, and searching. We can mimic these natural behaviors and thus fulfill these needs through different enrichment games and toys, most of which are set it and forget it and involve no more effort from you than it does to pour food into a bowl. So if you've been training with a portion of the meal, but you don't have time to feed all of the meal through training, you can reserve half of that portion to go into an enrichment toy. Or if you don't have time to train at all that day, everything can go right into an enrichment puzzle. There's a ton of different puzzle feeders that I absolutely love, and I'm going to put a list of them down in the description below for you to check out. I generally love the ones where your dog can roll them around, push them, and food will fall out at random intervals. My go-tos are definitely the Kong Wobbler and the IQ Ball that most dogs seem to enjoy. You can start them out by making it super easy if your dog has never eaten out of one of these toys before by just pouring the food like you would into a bowl into the top half or one half of the toy and letting them eat out of it. Then you can progress to closing it and putting a little bit of peanut butter on it so that they naturally are going to push it over and food falls out, and pretty soon they'll be batting that thing all over the place. If it's nice out, I even feed these toys outside in the yard because then it turns from a toy into a toy plus a little snuffle mat where they have to search out the food once it falls out. You can also use a portion of their daily food allotment for an afternoon enrichment puzzle to break up the day. This also works really well for those of you that feed raw, but you can use it with their kibble too. I like to fill Kongs and Topples and freeze them for my dog. Then I can give them to them for an afternoon activity, and it's going to take 20 or 30 minutes for them to get through them. Enrichment games can also give your dog something fun to do. Many dogs really enjoy working for their food. I remember when Cool Whip was just a little baby, 8 or 9 weeks old, and she wouldn't even touch her food in a bowl. But as soon as I started feeding it through a puzzle toy, she thought that that was an excellent game and went ahead and gobbled up all her food.
This is when your puppy would prefer to eat her food out of a food toy than her dish, which you can see in her crate full of food. She would rather play with the food, which is fine with me, because it tuckers her right out, and that is why I love puzzle toys. She can bat this around for the next 20 minutes, half an hour, while I make myself some lunch.
She truly wanted to work for her food and get her mental juices flowing. Using their nose and sniffing around for food can also be really calming for a lot of dogs. You can either do a treat scatter in the grass, use a snuffle mat, or create a kibble trail and hide their food in different rooms of the house for them to sniff out. Using food for enrichment can also be a great way to give yourself a mental break from your puppy or energetic dog. Want to eat breakfast in peace? Throw their kibble in a puzzle toy in an X-Pen and let them work it out while you have coffee. Is your pup having a hard time settling in the afternoon? After midday exercise, go ahead and give them one of those Topples or Kongs that you've prepared for them in their crate. They'll learn to be excited about crate time and likely fall asleep after, giving you time to do the work that pays for the amazing life you're giving your dog. So between training and enrichment feeding, with very little extra effort on your part, you're gonna end up with a better behaved and more mentally fulfilled dog who is super well trained. And who doesn't want that? And if you want to learn more ways to train or provide enrichment to your dog, check out this video here. The algorithm has selected it especially for you, so you should probably click on it. You all have an awesome day and happy training.